The first time we lifted the cup, the easier one to win was probably in 2000, where we lost the final 9-8, and I was the most culpable, guilty, I think that is in English. So when you're the kicker and you score 0 points and you lose 9-8, I think there has to be a light shining on your head for non-performance. But it took us 6 years. 6 years of is so long in sport to be taken, I suppose, serious as a team. From Munster's point of view, I think in the other final against Leicester, we played at least that day. But I can remember the words of Paul, the captain, when we went down. He said we just have to play, and we did play, even though we had a horrendous start. And I think Bobo scored a try up the left wing in the Millennium Stadium, and Yashvili kicked it 7-0 after 2 minutes. So you're thinking, more of the same, is it? But we had a bit of resilience at that stage. But I think it was just a great fitting end to the most loyal group of supporters. I think there was a great aura and bond between that Munster team and a lot of people in the Munster area, but all over Ireland. I think that was a very, very special day for me. I think when the camera panned back to O'Connell Street in Limerick, you just knew that there's no way we can go home this time without a medal in our pocket. And it was a very, very powerful picture portrayed to all our players.
I mean, I've got to pick one that involves us, and it was in a lot of ways probably our first Heineken Cup game, when we actually did as usual in our first years, kind of managed to lump ourselves in the pool of death, and we were away at Leinster, first ever game in the Heineken Cup away at Leinster. I think we lost by 3 points, and it was a fantastic day. It was a fantastic week, fantastic time over in Ireland, and supporters were just incredible, for both teams, and it was just something really, really special. In fact, our first European game in the Challenge Cup away at Bourgogne was a fantastic occasion as well, because in that team that went to Bourgogne, we had probably still, we obviously had the majority of the team that came up from the Championship, and so all of a sudden we had probably the majority of a team that didn't even have Premiership rugby experience until they'd started for us that season. We're suddenly playing in a European competition, and we went over to France and we won. And you just don't forget nights like that. You don't forget those kind of experiences. And so for us, it's been a fantastic journey. And as I said, we've experienced things as a club, and for a number of players, just playing at clubs and against players that you could only dream of.
No, I've got a few. I suppose the first one that I thought of when you asked me the question was the Ulster win in 1999. I actually wasn't playing or not really involved, but that was an amazing day. For us to beat Toulouse, who were the superpower of European rugby at that point, at a packed Ravenhill, and then get Stade Francais next week. 3 French teams in a row, quarter-final, semi-final, final, and the momentum just grew, and it was an incredibly exciting and memorable 3 or 4 months in all of our lives. It was amazing the way the stars aligned really that year. I think that having beaten Iberville, I think by 90 points or something in Toulouse managed to lose to Iberville next week, and that meant that Ulster were at home for the quarterfinals and not away for the quarterfinals, and I think that made quite a substantial difference. And yeah, it seemed to be written in the stars that year.
It was an amazing moment. Obviously, the final in Bilbao, a special occasion, being away, very unusual venue, class stadium, amazing travel and support. It's the sea of blue, but it's sometimes there's other moments that stick out as well, which in terms of what the fans deliver. The fans can deliver amazing moments. I think that even when we drove into Bilbao that day, where you're driving on the stadium and seeing that sea of blue and literally driving into a sea of blue is very, very powerful. When we played the final against Saracens in Newcastle as well, that was there. Obviously, we weren't successful on the field, but it was still a very, very special moment, that drive into the stadium, even though we couldn't produce the goods on the day. So that connection piece with the supporters is, that, because that's what makes the occasion in many ways. So a lot of my great memories are of, that sea of blue. And that's something that we will hopefully be able to see again in the very, very near future. Because over the last last 18 months, that's probably the missing piece in the jigsaw in many ways, not being able to have that.
Yeah, any of the wins really. You can they're all very special for very different reasons. It's very hard to pick one over the other, but I think anytime you win a trophy with your teammates, it's very special, and they're the moments you crave, and they're the moments you work hard for, and it's no different now at my age. So I'm still feel the same, and I want to push forward and win that 5th star for Leinster.
Either my first time playing at the Defence Arena, the Racing one, that's pretty sick, or a memory that will stick with me forever was getting playing at home against Racing in front of a full packed Welford Road. That was pretty class as well. It started snowing and we won. I enjoyed that, both against Racing.
What happened in the Defence Arena that day?
I'd made like a decent run up the edge. It was my first game back after my knee. I was quite sketchy because it was on a 4G. And obviously I hadn't played on, I've only ever trained on the field, the normal pitches. So I was I think someone got injured, so I had to start. And then, I played quite well. We lost, but we gave them a good run for their money.
A semi-final against Munster at Croke Park. The rivalry between Leinster and Munster, playing at Croke Park in a historic stadium, 82,000 people. The organisers, how they did the tickets, all the red and blue checkered seating arrangements, the atmosphere, Felipe going off early, Johnny coming on. It's the bus ride. The bus ride to the ground. It was a great occasion. I don't actually remember a hell of a lot about the game itself, but or the quality of the rugby, but certainly a really awesome experience to be part of.